about, Minister Collins. I'm going to talk, I suppose, that people have the right to feel safe in their communities, but they've also the right to thrive in their communities. And I've worked as a youth worker for over 20 years, and I know that no young person wakes up in the morning and decides, you know what, I'm going to commit a crime. No young person decides throughout their life, you know, I'm going to become an addict. I think crime, it can't be treated in isolation, and I think there's years of underinvestment in frontline youth services and community-based services that have led to this. I think the community policing model worked. I know Senator Duffy said this as well. Like, I would love to see that there's an increase back to the community policing model. When I started in youth work over 20 years ago, there was always a community guard presence, and that seems to have been eradicated over the last number of years. I think we need to look at the whole area of drug use. I think it's the elephant in the room when we talk about crime, and I think that I would love that there was a very important citizens' assembly on the use of drugs and taking a health and social education model towards drug use, and I think we need to start seriously looking at decriminalisation of drugs and decriminalisation of the user of drugs. I think that another area within the area of crime, I suppose, is that we would support, like, I know that joint policing worked really well, but and as a party we would be in favour of the new local community safety partnership, where there's 51%, I suppose, of those makeup is going to be from community members. I think that crime, the reduction of crime cannot be done on its own, but unless we're fully resourcing youth in community services, like I see youth workers that they're leaving the sector at an alarming rate because they're on low wages and they can't be recruited. So I would really urge the Minister to engage with Section 39 workers again. I'm like a broken record talking about this, but unless there's investment in frontline community people that are working on the frontline within services, within community work, the crime rate's going to go up, because prevention works and youth work works. I think we need to have conversation about freeing up the use of Gardaí time. We're looking at, I was very welcome to see that there's adult cautioning have been brought in for adults that are, you know, caught in possession with a small amount of cannabis for personal use. I think we need to have a broader conversation about legalising cannabis and to look at how much resources taken up with police time that could be diverted to dealing with violent crime or gender-based violence. Garda recruitment, we've all spoke about this here. Like the recruitment and retention of Garda, I think there needs to be an increase in the supplementary payment to Gardaí. I think there needs to be investment in Templemore. There needs to be a further investment looking at the supplementary pension allowance. But I think retention of staff is the biggest issue I think that's going to be facing if we actually want to be dealing with how to reduce crime or make people safer in their communities. It's looking at keep people working on the community, and the way things are going with wages, people are not being encouraged into the sector, and people are not staying in the sector. I know this has come up about regeneration in areas. I think it was you, Senator Duffy, also said it as well. Like, there's been a lot of regeneration programs have been really successful in working with different departments, Department of Housing, and for example in Sligo, there's an area, Cranmore, there was a huge amount of investment went into the regeneration, and it has changed. The whole morale has changed. There's a better sense of pride in the community. People feel safer. There's an investment in playgrounds, recreational space, lighting. But the budget has come short, and the thing that's going to suffer is the community centre, which in my mind should be completely flipped upside down. That's where the investment should be coming first, and then everything should be built around that. So I suppose finally, I think I would love to I hope that the Minister will listen to what people on the ground are saying that are working directly with young people and working with community groups, and that they will engage in seeing how, if there is going to be a new local community safety partnership, that PPN groups, community groups and people working directly with young people in addiction services, in like Garda diversion programmes, in youth work services, and that they'll be formed very much part of the conversation.